guys, welcome to my channel, The Planted Carly Flower. I'm Carly, and today we are going to be talking about one of my Instagram posts that recently blew up, comparing what I got in a purchase of a Pink Princess Philodendron versus what I ended up with after I rehabbed it. So if you want to hear all about how I received an almost dead Pink Princess Philodendron and I rehabbed it to be a glorious beauty today, please keep watching.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time?
Okay guys, let's get right into it. Before we start, please pause this video and hit like and subscribe for me. It really helps me out when you do that, and I would appreciate it so much. The more interaction I get, the bigger my channel will grow, and I really appreciate growing our family with you. So if you could do that, I'd really love that. But let's go ahead and start talking about the Pink Princess. So this is her. She's got some beautiful leaves. This is her newest leaf. She does have one coming out currently. Her previous leaves prior to that were just very lightly speckled with pink. I don't even know if you can see it, it's so light. I didn't know if the variegation was going to come back on this little lady, but she did, and I can already see that the new leaf is got some pink on it as well. The roots are busting out of the pot. You can see a root there, and there's some roots on the bottom and some others sticking out along the sides. So this is what she looks like now, and this is definitely not what I got. So I unfortunately do not have a picture of the listing because I did not think to take a picture of the listing when I purchased this plant, but somebody turned me on to this very reasonably priced Pink Princess pup. It was a pup that had just been pulled off the mother plant. It was stated in the listing that it was rooted and that it was in a 3-inch pot. So it was $90, which is a steal for a Pink Princess, or at least it was at the time. And I thought, okay, let's do it. And when I was gonna buy it, my boyfriend said, you know, it's about a week before Christmas. I would like to buy this for you for Christmas. And I thought that would be beautiful. I would love a Pink Princess for Christmas. Thank you so much. So he purchased it with his card, and we patiently waited for it to arrive. Now, the customer service of this person was not by any means bad. It did include a heat pack, but she did message me and tell me that her area was going to experience some really bad weather, like right around when she was going to ship it out. So she asked if I wanted her to hang on to it, because this was December, remember. She asked me if she wanted me to hang on to, if I wanted her to hang on to it until the weather had passed and it was a little safer to ship even with a heat pack. And I said absolutely, and she said, you know, I'd really feel better about it if we shipped it after the 1st. And I said, that sounds great. Ship it after the 1st, because there was a lot of really bad USPS delays at the time because of the COVID, people shipping more packages than normal. So I said, you know what, that sounds like a plan. Go ahead and do it the week after the 1st, and let's just be safe. So she kept it, she shipped it, I got it, and this is what I got. As you can see, the leaves are dying off, they're yellowing, the variegation is extremely faded. It did not look good. It didn't look good at all, and it didn't seem to me at the time that this was normal for a 2-day shipping process. It did arrive in the amount of time it was supposed to. Thank you to USPS for that. I got lucky there, and it just didn't seem like that would be an appropriate way for it to look post-shipping. So anyway, I thought about it and I said, you know what? I'm a little nervous because this plant is so delicate. It's already clearly struggling. I'm a little hesitant to repot it. But what if the reason it's struggling is because the roots are bad or whatever? So let's go ahead and just take a look at it. So I went ahead and very cautiously unpotted the Pink Princess and found this. It is one singular root that is pretty mushy and dead. So this plant had been dying for a while, and she knew it was probably dying when she shipped it. She for sure knew it was dying when she shipped it. She probably knew well before that, probably even when I purchased it, that it wasn't doing well, and didn't say anything. It had clearly been declining for a while. The root was mushy and gross. There was about maybe a ½ inch of root that was salvageable. I went ahead and cut off all the mushy parts. I sought advice from fellow people that had pink princesses. I really wanted this to live because it was a gift from my boyfriend, and therefore it already meant the world to me. And they said, you know, just pot it up in some really well draining soil, lightly water it, and it'll re-root for you. So I did that. I potted it up in a well draining potting mix that I make myself, and I waited for it to root. I put it in my little IKEA greenhouse that I had at the time, and I waited. It didn't seem to be getting any better, but it also wasn't declining. Slowly but surely, the leaves that were doing really badly fell off. It did have a leaf that was kind of coming in when I got it, but it was really stunted and not really coming out very quickly. It didn't actually, in the first 3 weeks I had it, seem to grow at all. It was just kind of half folded up and still kind of in the sheath. So I just left it and prayed for a miracle, and after about 3 weeks of it in dirt and it's still just not getting better and leaves starting to actually fall off, I unpotted it again, and the rest of that root that I had salvaged from the mushy part was completely dead and fell right off, honestly. So I said, you know what, I'm done screwing around with this. I'm gonna do the best I can here. I trimmed it up with my scissors, my gardening shears, cut off every mushy part on the base of the plant I could, hoping I had salvaged enough of the node to grow new roots. I pulled off all the leaves that were just completely gross and dead, and that left me with one little tiny leaf and that leaf that was half out of the sheath from growing. And I put it in some water, and at that point I had gotten my Milsbo cabinet, so I put it in a water tube in my Milsbo, and I waited and I waited and I waited, and I prayed every day that I checked on it that there would be some roots. And slowly but surely, apparently the Pink Princess is a slow rooter, or maybe it's just me, slowly but surely it started to grow roots. And when it started to grow roots, I decided I would put it in moss. So I mixed up some water with some Super Thrive. I'll put a picture of Super Thrive here. And I got my moss nice and wet with my Super Thrive water, and I squeezed all the excess so that it was just damp to the touch, and I potted up my Pink Princess baby with little tiny baby roots into some moss. They were maybe 1/4 of an inch long at that point. And I left it in the moss. I figured that would be, as well as with the Milsbo cabinet, a beautiful humid environment for roots to grow, and I was right. The plant did start to grow roots, and slowly but surely it did start to bring out leaves. Like I showed you earlier, the leaves were not very variegated. There was little tiny, like smaller than a grain of rice, specks of pink. And I thought to myself, you know, if this Pink Princess never gets real true variegation again, and it's just a reverted Pink Princess, I'm still gonna love it because my boyfriend bought it for me, and that in itself means more to me than anything else. So I'm okay if it doesn't get any variegation. I can live as long as the plant lives. So I dealt with it, and I continued to watch every leaf come out bigger and be more beautiful, but none of them really had variegation. So I had kind of, after 3 or 4 leaves, just decided it probably wasn't going to get any, and I watched the latest leaf come out and unfurl, and as you saw, it's beautifully variegated. It's got this beautiful white minty color, and then it's got the dark pink all along, and it's everything I could have hoped for and more. This plant absolutely bounced back, and I'm extremely, extremely proud of this Pink Princess. It came to me no more than a nubbin, and now it is big, beautiful, and larger than life. It's already getting another leaf, as I showed you earlier, and I could already see pink on the leaf. So I'm super excited, like a little expectant mother over here, waiting to see what this little leaf looks like. And that is the story of how I saved my Pink Princess Philodendron. Several people on my Instagram post asked me to make a video about how I saved it, And honestly, I didn't do anything that I don't think anybody else wouldn't have done. There was no miracle solvent or miracle process I used. I just cut off all the rot and prayed, and I was rewarded. I do believe a great deal of it was simply the plant's will to live and luck. I don't believe that anybody else couldn't have done what I did. But it's healthy. The leaves are nice and firm and just absolutely beautiful, and I can't stop looking at it. And every time I look at this variegation, I am reminded about how beautiful nature is and how amazing the will to survive is, even in things that we consider inanimate and not people. Nature always provides, and this is a great example of that. But yeah, that is the story of how I saved my Pink Princess Philodendron. I really hope that you enjoyed that. Definitely go check out my post on Instagram. It did really well. People were really interested in it. And the difference from one to, like, you saw the difference in this video, but honestly just swiping back and forth from where it started to where it is now is absolutely dramatic. Like, I get why people were just so in awe, because it looked really, really bad when I got it, and now it looks like a respectable Pink Princess. And Pink Princess has honestly never been one of my favorite plants, but this particular one is my favorite Pink Princess in the world. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad that you guys stayed and made it through the video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you didn't do it earlier. And yeah, absolutely check me out on Instagram. My link tree will be linked down below. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Amazon storefront if you're interested in the Super Thrive or the pots that I'm using, or pond ingredients, or anything else that you've seen on my channel. It's all linked there for you to shop if you need anything. And I really hope that you guys catch me in the next one. Thank you so much. Go spend lots of quality time with your favorite sentimental plant babies today. Thank you. Bye-bye.